Well, hi everybody. Yeah, it's been a while, hasn't it? I am Patty, the Tinkerer's wife, for those of you who are new. I want to thank you all for joining me today and for checking out what this good, the bad, and the ugly collaboration is all about. So, I'm going to share with you an update of the garden as I do this. And I hope that you can learn something from a couple of things that I'm going to share with you today, and let's get to it. So anyway, I'm going to walk you around to the other side here. Go around and around. Here we go. It's sunny out here, so it's trying to keep us from being in the sun too awful much. So the good is that this year everything has been doing well, and I mean beyond my hopes well, even to the point of all this bed is full of volunteers, tomatoes and tomatillos. I have never seen them volunteer like they did this year, and it was early April when they started to come up. Never happens here. The soil was like 60 degrees several inches into the soil, so it was very warm. Probably the metal beds and the fact that these are in a nice cozy little microclimate here. This is a Zone 8B garden up here in the Pacific Northwest in Portland, Oregon, for those of you who are new here. These beds were constructed by my husband last spring, a year ago. And yeah, so some of the other good is we have some goodness ripening right there. And I've got another tomato right there that's ripening. Yeah, it won't be long. I'll be eating tomatoes, the first of my tomatoes. And then we've got right here a cucumber, volunteer cucumber in my fig tree pot. Gotta love it, you know? So why not keep it? I don't know what it's going to be, but yeah, I've got a bunch of, these are cherry tomatoes. This is a standard tomato. And this over here, I don't know what tomato that is. Looks like it might be a saladette. I'm not sure yet. We'll find out. But look at this. This guy from the ground up is 5.5 feet tall. He's huge. Volunteer. Gotta love those volunteers. So anyway, beautiful. And the beautiful and very fruitful bean trellis that is getting done. I'm gathering some seed from it, so down here on the back side, I probably shouldn't do it on this side. Let's go around here. There they are. These are going to be seeds for future harvest. I've got a great big one down there. I might take that one in for dinner. Yeah, it's slowing down a lot. It's been pretty hot here too, so I noticed there are a few flowers, so it'll continue. There's a couple more that I'm gonna be getting seeds from. But this is a bean called Trifino Violetto. It is an Italian bean. It is virtually stringless. I absolutely love it. And it's been so prolific. I think I've probably harvested 8 pounds of beans off of this trellis. Just this trellis. So just found another one. So anyway, yeah, this has been great. Basils are doing well. This also is a volunteer, by the way, that nasturtium. Natalie over at Hey It's a Good Life has had one like this too. Mine was only about so tall, and it only took it like a couple of weeks, and it was clear up over the top. And I was like, hey Natalie, look at this. It was pretty exciting because it was really beautiful when it was all fresh and lush, and it's starting to go by a little bit now. I might try a little experiment chopping it down here and seeing if it'll regrow. That's an option. I may try that little science project. Yeah, so that's been good. I've been able to mulch with, this is crimson clover straw from the crimson clover that I took out of this bed over here. And this bed here, I just dropped it all right here, and it's worked out really well. Ooh, there's a bird right back there. I don't know if we're going to catch it. That looks like a finch. Yep. Yeah. Anyway, get lots of birds back here. Little hummingbird feeder there. No hummingbird action right now, though. I'm surprised he isn't out there. Okay, now on to the bad. I am the bad. I did a bad. This year, for whatever reason, with small seeds like poppy seeds, and I guess I didn't think that they would germinate because of something somebody had said. And I found out, oh yes, they did, and they all germinated. It was crazy. I had so many poppies in here, and I didn't edit them out enough. I didn't. It was my bad. That's like a novice mistake. Anyway, here's kind of what was happening. Only this is the German German chamomile. This is Gold chamomile. And these seeds were some that I'd had from, I think, a couple years ago. But they grew like crazy. They did really well. And you can see how crammed in there everything is. They would be upright, strong, beautiful plants had they not been planted so close together. So my bad. Yeah. And let me see, is there anything else? Oh, my onions, I did that with too. And trust me, this was like onion on top of onion. I pulled a bunch of onions today, but back in here, back in there, you can kind of see there's some bulbs. This one's going to be beautiful. I'm letting that one get done. See, there's one there. Oh, they were everywhere. It was gross. My basils are doing well. The corner over there with the golden feverfew, which looks more green than gold right now. It does that in the heat when the leaves get mature. And the purple bedding plants there. Yeah, that's good. That's doing really good. See, this is what the golden feverfew normally looks like, and this is what it looks like later in the summer. It's more green than gold. So this had potatoes in it, and I took the potatoes out, and I got 13 pounds of potatoes, guys. I was so happy. So that's another good. In spite of my bad, we've had good. So that's the way it is with gardening. Now, what about the ugly? I would say the ugly has to be not what my garden is producing, but what I garden under produces, or rather what the teenage squirrels are producing that live in the 100-foot fir trees above me. There are 3 teenage squirrels that have just been wreaking havoc around here, and I came out and had this all swept up, and I kid you not, 2 hours later they started dropping junk on it. I tell you, the hunter in me starts to come out when that happens. So yeah, I'll be taking the blower out here. I may do that later today when the sun goes back behind the trees, because see, there's more trees there. We have lots of trees here in this city. It's really beautiful. But trees have some drawbacks, and this is one of them with these fir trees. So yeah, what the squirrels are doing, this is a fir cone here, and you can see these are scales. They call them scales. That's what they are. And they will peel these scales apart. This is a better one. This is a mature, dry one. You can see those scales. Those are each scales. They look like scales on a fish or whatever. They pull them apart and they get the seeds out of them. That's what they're doing. So you can't blame them. The poor thing's got to eat, right? And they're fun to watch, but they're annoying when this happens. These are more volunteers. A couple of brandywine tomatoes is what they look like. You can see the purple flowers I was talking about, and I'm not remembering the name. I know the name and I can't remember it right now. Here's another beauty. This is Inula hookeri, or Hooker's Inula. It's the smaller version of the herbal Inula. that gets to be quite tall. So that's just a fun plant. It was actually the first plant ever given to me. More beauties, my tomatoes that are doing fantastic, except for I discovered that we've got some blossom end rot going on, so I got the bone meal out and gave them a little dose of bone meal. This is the Brandywine. This is the Sicilian saucer tomato, and it looks like it's going to produce some pretty nice tomatoes. Brad's Atomic Grape and Sun Gold. And I know a lot of you have had Sun Gold tomatoes before. Probably one of the best cherry tomatoes ever. Yeah, so across the aisle here I have the miniature white cucumbers, which are producing nicely. I'll have a handful, probably a small basket full of cucumbers tomorrow. And then over here, excuse me, this is my cucamelon. Isn't it beautiful? It is doing really well, and I'm actually getting some little gherkins on it. This is the Mexican sour gherkin. So, yep, there's another one up there. Yes, I'll have some of those. Yay, in the next day or two. Now, one of my favorite places here in the garden right now is this patch right here. And there's a couple reasons I love it so much. Look at the beautiful hedge that made in front of my peppers and my basil there. This is the red Alaska Nasturtium. These are starting to fade a little bit. They look really glorious when they're brand new and fresh. But in here I have basils. There's another basil there. This is the Lisa pepper. Now, I just want to say, I decided to start Lisa pepper because of Ben Vincent. Yeah, I'm calling him out on this. I'm hoping that these peppers are as good as you said they were when you were out at Baker Creek and you took a bite of that one and swooned. Just saying. If they're that good, I'm going to be very, very thankful that you did what you did. So be praying they're going to be that good. I want to save seeds on them. You know, I've got some, I don't have any fruit yet, but I have flowers. No visible fruit that I can see, but you know, there's promises of fruit. That might, ooh, there's going to be one right there. So yeah, there's going to be some, but they're supposed to be a nice dark red, which I'm really excited about. I love the red peppers too. They're so pretty. Speaking of pretty, look at this. Is this beautiful? That is the Purple Shine eggplant. Oh, we're going to have a flower there. Cool. I'll have eggplant pretty soon. This is a Japanese variety. It has light little purple hairs on it. That's why you get that purple look. I don't know if the camera's reading it. I think it is reading it okay. This is Tsukaneki. It's a Japanese eggplant that is it's variegated, so it has like white striation in the dark purple. It's really pretty. And then that over there, this is the Ron Denise squash. It's a zucchini. So no, this one does not get big like a baby, which is nice. This is really good zucchini for smaller gardens. I've done some pruning on the leaves to try and avoid the crazy mildew that we always get hit with, and it's actually working really well. Some other things I've got going on here is this is Aristotle Basil. It is the same basil as what is over here. I'll be harvesting that pretty soon here because it looks like it might be thinking about going to flower, and it's a pretty good one for pesto. I also have calendula in here, and these are Italian white sunflowers. They're smaller flower head, multi-branching sunflower with the black centers. They're really pretty, really good as a cut flower, though they do have pollen, so you need to be sure that you take and put something underneath them so they don't, you know, the pollen doesn't get on stuff. Or you can dust it away, or just keep keep the thing outside, whatever. Anyway, here I've got Yeti Nasturtium. That's what this is. Yeti Nasturtium, and it is like a butter yellow, really nice, lovely, soft yellow, and it goes almost white. So pretty. So the cucumber here is, let me see, it's a German name. Vorgeburgstrauben. How's that? So yeah, that turned out pretty good. It's starting to climb now. I should get something out of that. Another volunteer, guys. This is epazote. This little plant right here is epazote. I did not sow that. It came up on its own. So it's good if you can identify the volunteers that come up in your garden. I want to show you this wall here that's by these beans, which, by the way, these are Kalima beans. They did really well. I do have one that I was very disappointed in, and that is the red swan bean. These beans maybe got 2-3 inches long at the most, and they were small. I mean, not even a good bite of bean. So I probably won't be growing those again. I don't know what the deal was, because the Kalima beans did really well, and this bean trellis here did really well. Probably just fussy for the kind of soil I have here. I don't know. Anyway, I wanted to show you this wall trellis I've got here. I put it up here so the beans wouldn't fall into the flowers and herbs on the other side. And when I initially had it up here, I didn't like it until the plants started growing up. And then it became what it was intended to be visually. It wasn't just this insert from a screen door. Yes, that's what it is. It's an insert from a screen door. So one of those metal security doors, I think. And a friend gave it to me. And I had the torchère poles here. They don't have the torchères in them, obviously. I was going to put some glass globes on top of those. I'll probably do that in the future, Lord willing. So anyway, yeah, it turned out pretty nice. I mean, when you look at it over there. See how nice that looks? You get that little bit of pattern behind there that lets you know you can see through it, which is nice. One of the beauties of doing landscape design or learning landscape design is you learn about screens, and this screen at certain times of day, like right now, it shows off this more, but when the shade comes over, you'll be able to see through it into that area behind there. So it makes you want to go through the garden and find out what's over there. That's the beauty of a screen. That's your landscape design tip of the day. So anyhow, everything is just doing really well. And I transplanted these zinnias. This zinnia, the last couple days looked pretty sad, but today it's looking pretty good. I'm happy. Had to get them out from underneath all of the stuff. They were over there in that bed, and they weren't getting enough sun, and the leaves of the zucchini were kind of getting after them. And so anyway, I've got some radishes sown in here and some other stuff, so that'll be fun to have those going. I'm probably going to do some cut and come again lettuces. Oh, and before we stop, I want to stop here. This is my red noodle bean, and looky here, guys, we're getting flowers. We're gonna have flowers probably in the next day or two. Oh, look, oh, yes, you saw it first. Oh, they've got ants on them too. That's really unusual. I mean, ants do go on flowers for certain reasons. Usually it's because there is a nectar or sweetness there. Sometimes it's for aphids. This, I don't think is for aphids. I think this is like what they do on peony flowers. So anyhow, that was a great find. I'm glad that you got to be a part of that. But look at these white flowers. Yep. So anyway, this is the garden right now here at Tinkerer's Paradise, and I want to thank you for following along. Thank you so much for spending your time with me. I know our time's valuable these days, and I appreciate each and every one of you. I do this for you. You know, really, that's why I do it. It isn't so much for me, except for it does give me a place to share the knowledge that I have, um, and to tell stories, to share a little bit about my life, and of course my garden, which we all love to see each other's gardens. So anyway, I'm Patty, the Tinker's wife, and I am going to sign off now. It's getting close to time to start dinner, so I better get that done. But I hope you all have a wonderful weekend, a Sunday. Tomorrow's Sunday, today's Saturday. I'm going to upload this tonight. But before I get off of here, I want to thank Southern Blessed Homestead for leaving the collaboration open. And I am tagging J&C Oregon Homestead. Yep. Connie and Justin, you're tagged. You're in the collaboration, so come on, let's get with it. So gotta get us West Coasters. Yeah, we gotta be a part of this. So anyway, thanks for joining me. I appreciate having you visit. It's always fun to get to show the garden to my friends. So anyway, y'all have a great weekend. Again, this is Patty the Tinker's wife, signing off. God bless.